12/24/24, Christmas Eve. So I was here last on the 20th and posted the video of that, and this is even worse than what I thought. I mean, I said, hey, look, the goats don't even accomplish the goal. The very first thing they do is go murder the native coyote brush. And since they're fenced into the area, eventually they'll cut down on the tall invasive plants, but this is an absolute joke. This is an absolute joke. This is yellow star thistle, invasive, non-native, annual. There's various invasives. The only thing, look, scan. Everything I'm scanning past is invasive, a non-native annual, a fire fuel plant, until you get to the coyote brush. The one native, the one fire resistant, perennial, beneficial native plant that actually was green and full of foliage, providing for the wildlife, doing something good, and the goats have just obliterated it. Just obliterated it. It's like there were 3. Now, if you've been watching any of my other videos, I've shown how the goats turn living plants into firewood. I mean, they damage it to such an extent that it finally dies, or they actually just break chunks off. This is a fire abatement program turning living plants into firewood. I can't stress enough the fact that all this yellow star thistle and all these annual grasses and other thistles and Italian thistle and ripgut brome laying down is all still here. I mean, the goats were fenced into this area and still failed. The only thing they succeeded in doing was hurting the one thing good that was here. You see how rare the coyote brush is? That was it. That was all we had on this hillside. And they obliterated it while still failing to do the very thing that you people cheer that the goats do. They don't even do that. The overhyped vegetation management that you've all blindly gotten on board with, they don't even do that. All they did was kill something that the local wildlife needed desperately, because there's so little of it left because of your idiotic human improvement programs. Now the story gets deeper. These goats are going to be here for like the next 5 months or more, going from spot to spot. So they'll get fenced into this area again. And they just keep destroying and destroying and destroying, using up taxpayer dollars, chasing away wildlife, destroying habitat, spreading different invasive plant species, shitting all over the place. Eventually, this will look a little bit better. At what cost? You have to leave them here half the year just to get this shit down to a reasonable height. And as you can see, any natives were long gone by then. The first thing killed. Some of you, I hope, are asking a very basic and very important question. That question being, if the goats are there that many months out of the year, how's it possible that all those invasive plants are there and this big? Glad you asked. Because it's a fucking failure program. As soon as the goats leave, the problem grows and grows at a rapid pace and is tall before summer even arrives, despite the fact that the goats don't leave until April. or May, it doesn't stop the invasive plants from shooting up and being tall and a threat before summer. And then it's left all summer. And then when there's the slightest chance of improvement, things starting to look better, the land is beginning to heal, they bring the goats back through. So last time I was here, the fence was about there. We've got another case of murdered coyote brush. I guess we could go look at it, but what's the point? It's the same story. And look at the ground I'm walking through. Who wants to place bets today on whether or not the skilled herder is in the trailer or asleep under a tree? You guys remember the coyote brush I filmed here? Just annihilated. Let's walk quietly. You wouldn't want to disturb the guy while he's earning overtime wages. And again, that sounds like the herder is the focal point of my anger. No, it's just an easy target. The only person I can see. The only thing other than the goats and the goat dog. I've tried to focus my anger on the people in charge, but they just keep passing the buck. You can't even find the people responsible for this stupidity. No one wants to own up to it. Someone's cutting the checks, and yet no one will own up to it. The goats took something healthy and green and beautiful and full of leaves. It made it look like the Italian thistle stalks. For the sake of time, I'm gonna voice over and edit the rest of it, but you can watch the unedited full-length video linked below. I continued walking, found the goats over the hill, and I filmed some more of the damage, more of the annihilated, stripped coyote brush along the way. But remember last time I said the one thing that this guy did was keep the goats off of the human path? Well, apparently he doesn't even do that. And it's in the rainy season, so 500 animals trampling that path in the rainy season is going to turn into a pretty massive mess. Many more points to make. I will save them for the next video when I return to the area, but I thought it was worth showing what the finished product of 500 animals fenced into an area for a 48-hour period was. In summary, the previously good plants now look like the bad plants that still aren't gone. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what you think I missed. I'm probably going to get to it in future videos, but your feedback, your comments, your insights are all welcome, and I hope you will tune into the next episode. And by the way, I do have some positive videos coming, but being as the goat grazing season has just started in this area, it's important to get this covered.